What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Ranger Central podcast. And today we finally have something to talk about in terms of meaningful hockey because the preseason is underway. It absolutely killed us watching that preseason. That's a different story. But yeah, we're going to break down all that happened in the preseason, talk about how we're feeling about the team, our concerns, what we thought was positive. Obviously, right now, it's hard to reach for positives considering the fact that they went 1-5. They went 1-5, but if you do want to reach for a positive there, they went 1-5 the year in the preseason. The year they ended up winning or not winning the cup. I wish they won the cup. The year they went to the cup, though, I'd be way happier if they won the cup that year. I wouldn't be stressed out of my mind watching this team on a yearly basis if they had a cup in my lifetime. But we're going to talk about all of it. We have Nico here. I don't know where Nick is. Some asshole showed up late to work for him, so he can he's stuck. He's unless he's doing what you normally do, going to sleep right now, or
Yeah,
maybe he's out
it's
for
the
dinner,
time right
right?
now. Maybe.
Inside jokes are fucking unreal. But we'll talk about the preseason. Let's just jump straight into it. I don't even know where we should start here. I mean, we could talk about the news that happened
Oh yeah.
earlier today as the New York Rangers ended up placing on waivers Johnny Brzezinski and Ben Harper. No surprise with Ben Harper, but a bit of a surprise
Johnny
that
B.
Johnny Broadway got put on waivers. A little bit of a surprise there. Everyone kind of penciled him in as the 13th forward, and obviously that did not come to fruition because Will Coley ended up winning the roster spot, and good on him. They also sent Othman down. I think there are 27 guys on the roster, so I'm trying to figure out in my mind who else got sent down. So I know Garon got sent down recently. Um, was there another defenseman outside of?
Um,
No, it was Harper.
Harper.
I Robertson might have been a late send down, and then
Mac.
in hmm,
Mac.
Mackey was sent down a couple weeks ago, I think, or not weeks, but like a couple days prior.
Uh,
Um, Othman obviously got sent down.
Othman.
It says Cooley's a non-roster player for whatever reason on Cap
Cap
Friendly, which is
friendly. Not
just
on the game.
Oh, okay. I understand what the Rangers might be doing here. See, this is smart work here. This is smart work by Chris Drury. So I don't know if this is what is actually happening right now, but perhaps the Rangers are trying to gather some extra cap space because if they have guys down in the AHL and they
I know
have
what
less
you're
roster
thinking.
guys, you know who's asking to be saved the spot there. But
That could be
maybe
it.
they're accruing more cap space. So as of right now, it says that they'll have 6.7 million in cap at the deadline. Sadly, Mike Tomlin, Antonio Brown to that one because we know that they're going to be juggling guys throughout the roster, and Will Coley is going to get called up, so they're probably going to have that number drop unless they're going with just 21 guys on the roster come opening night, and then Coley's just down in the AHL until. Let me see. Did the Rangers PR team announce anything there? Because maybe they're
You can look on
just
Twitter.
yeah. I'm trying to find it. I don't remember the PR team Twitter handle,
Um,
but regardless, maybe they're gonna just keep him down there, and then it's like, all right, when we need a forward, we'll call him up. But I would start him on the roster. I mean, I think he clearly won the
yeah.
job, and everyone's saying that he did. So I think that I'm under the assumption that he ended up making the team. But here we go. Here's the Rangers PR account. I don't see anything, so that's weird that they haven't listed on the non-roster. But regardless, I'd assume then at that point they're going to have close to like 4 million in cap space at the deadline, which isn't a lot to work with, but it's still at least something. And guys could be moved around still, but
Yeah. I mean, we saw at the prior deadline. I mean, we didn't have much to work with, and you brought in Tarasenko and Kane. Just retaining salary is the big thing now these days to make trades work. So I think definitely can make something happen.
Yeah, I agree. That's probably what it is. Although I think that they have to be accruing cap space. When does the season like officially start? Because don't the Rangers play a little after the official start?
Yeah, it
'Cause
starts
on
October
the
9th
10th,
and then the 11th. Oh wait, does it start the 10th? I know the Rangers play wait,
the 12th.
the 12th, yes. And then it
Oh,
starts the 10th. Yeah,
okay, so that's smart. Every penny counts at the deadline. So
yeah.
as we saw last year when they
That's
had to
smart
do
work.
an absurd amount of gymnastics to get Kane in here,
Mhm.
but yeah, so they'll probably just spend those 2 days with Will Coley and like in the AHL on paper, and then in the NHL once it's the 12th. So they'll do those paper transactions like they did. I wonder if there's a way that they could finagle that throughout the entire season. Like, are you allowed to send a guy who's waiver exempt up and down the roster throughout the
Yeah.
entire year to accrue cap space? Because if that's the case, it's fucked, but it's funny that the Rangers could just paper transaction this thing the entire year and just send him down, call him up, send him down, call him up. Because if
That
they
would be
could do
genius.
that, they could do that with Schneider too and gather even more cap space.
I saw that. I saw someone on Twitter actually say about Schneider. I forget who it was from, but like he apparently has like it's like 160. What is it? Like I saw like he only has like 9 days eligible of it. I want to say like he's on 151 out of 160 of waiver exempt, something along those lines. So
Ah,
yeah, I don't know if we could really do much with him, but definitely other guys you could.
Will Coley's like the only other guy, unfortunately. But if that works, I mean, I don't know if that's legal. This is the same league that allows certain things with their cap that is just weird. So,
Exactly.
but uh GMs are a little bit slow to think on things like that, but if that's allowed in the CBA, I mean, I would just paper transaction Will Coley every single off day. Just every off day, send him down.
Hmm.
Send him down
Oh,
on paper, but
yeah.
every time it's a game day, then oh, he's back up.
Exactly. It's from Statboy Steven. Who else? I found the tweet. He said Schneider's only waiver exempt for 9 more games after he's played his 160th NHL game. He will require waivers. He's currently at 151 games played.
Oh, he knows
So.
that because he's stalking him. He knows it because of that. It's
Oh
obvious. That guy. That guy's crazy.
god.
But
Oh man.
um in all seriousness, so we're probably looking at a roster now, at least without paper transactions. I penciled this in as the lineup. This would be my lineup. I would go Kreider, Zibanejad, Kako as the first line. Panarin, Hedel, Lafreniere on the second line.
Yeah, I
Um,
roll.
Coley, Trocheck, Wheeler, which I think could be a very good third
That
line.
line was looking really good, so yeah, I agreed for sure.
And then VC, Goudreau, Pitlick. I don't know why people think that Pitlick should sit.
I know
Uh,
he's looked like our best bottom six guy. Like obviously, rather than like Cooley, like
yeah,
he
like
was
in
great.
terms
How
of
do you not
fourth
take up
line
Nino?
guys, yeah, I would easily put. I would easily take Benino or VC out over Pitlick. I thought Pitlick was impressive.
I do too. I think there's no reason to get him out of the lineup, but Nino, he's getting up there. He looks kind of a step behind. I thought he was not bad against Pittsburgh, but the other games I wasn't too impressed. Or Pittsburgh, what am I saying? Boston. Uh,
Black and yellow,
but
same
yeah,
thing.
yeah, that's why I got them confused. But yeah, I think it's got to be Benino, the odd man out, not VZ, not Pitlick. Obviously not good. Try paying that guy 3.6 million. You're not keeping that out of the lineup. I mean, you could have traded him. Well,
I
that's a
mean, yeah,
different
if
story.
if we're really going to, ice the best roster here, Barkley Goudreau being scratched, I think would like Nick Bonino, I thought looked bad throughout the entire preseason, but except for last night. But I would still argue that Nick Bonino having him out there is better than Barkley Goudreau on a nightly basis. So if it were up to me and cap implications weren't a thing, I would easily be sitting Barkley Goodrow, but
Just how
unfortunately,
it is.
Mike Tomlin, Antonio Brown with that one because y'all know that ain't happening.
Yep.
But I think that still is. I still think that that's a solid forward group. Obviously, would look a lot nicer with 88 in that forward group, but still, I think it's a solid forward group. And then on defense, Lindgren, Fox, Miller, Truba, and then Gustafson, who has by
Oh
far
man.
been the best defenseman for the Rangers, and then Braden Schneider on the right side, and then Benino and Jones. Jones ended up winning a roster spot too. Not that it was really difficult
For
because
them.
it kind of sucks though too. We were so hyped about the Rangers' defensive depth, and then a lot
I
of guys
know.
were just like, I mean,
Yeah.
Matt Hollowell was a one-game wonder.
He had a
Uh,
big insanity run. No
oh
one
yeah, he
can.
did. Emerson got claimed. Harper, yikes.
Gonzo, he
Robertson,
sucked.
not ready. Mackey was okay, but
Mm.
I'd imagine he's the first call up. And then we didn't even see some other guys. Like we didn't even see Scanlon get a lot of action. I think he played like one game, and then Brouillard we didn't get to see play a game either. So
Yeah, I mean with Jones too, like I wonder if they do a scenario with him that they did with Niels Lundqvist and trade him for a high draft pick before the season, but at this point it just doesn't look likely. He's the extra at this point, but it kind of sucks to me. I feel like you can kind of get a high draft pick at this point from still, as opposed to having him as an extra. But I mean, hey, I'm not the GM at the end of the day, so you can't say that. I remember it was mentioned early on in the summer, but it does not look like that will become a formality at this point. I don't know what you think about that.
well, the Rangers are in a tough road because the NHL is just ridiculous. And I was talking with someone on Twitter about this earlier. Well, to a degree, because I didn't bring this up, but I just think that the NHL and the players need to fight for agreements and change with like between juniors and things like that. Because a guy like Zach Jones, this is the problem with a guy like Zach Jones. He's on the cusp of being a full-time NHLer, and he's easily the Rangers' best defenseman that's on the outside looking in. Like he's easily the best seventh defenseman for the Rangers. But at the same time, you want him getting games and minutes in the AHL. Can't do that. He'd have to go through waivers. It's like you're
Yeah.
punishing teams for gathering assets and gathering young talent, but it's unfair to players like Zach Jones who need to get the minutes and need to get the time, but he just simply can't because of the fact that he'd have to go through waivers. But the argument I was really going about with on Twitter, which we'll talk more about later, Lafreniere, I'm sure. Uh, but yeah, like they because Lafreniere in his year one, everyone's like they should have just sent him to Hartford in year one. People forget that wasn't an option. It was either he goes to the queue where he would just light it up there and probably not improve anymore or start in the NHL. So that's just what ended up happening. But the NHL needs to work on their agreement with and the PA need to work on agreements there
Period.
because it's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
I've never seen a sport or league that has to go through these many issues. Like it's ridiculous how the NHL works. I mean, you can't do anything about it at the end of the day, right? But
This is why this league just can't grow their fans. Like,
hmm
why is it
I
that the
agree.
NFL allows 53 guys on the roster at all times, but guys could be in street clothes on the bench?
hmm
And there's practice squads. The MLB, like, you don't really have to worry about this as much. Like, you could send guys down whenever. They'll have to go through waivers though if you're constantly sending them down. But yeah, like this is the only league that does something like this, and it's just stupid. But
hmm
yeah, and then Johnny Brzezinski, we have to hope he passes through waivers. That's another one there.
Don't
Not that he's
see
a young
that.
player, but yeah, I don't. I think someone's gonna claim him after the preseason he had.
hmm
I
Like Friedman mentioned it too. It shouldn't help. I mean,
yeah,
obviously GMs know their own homework, and know he had a good preseason. So, but yeah, it's just gonna hurt when we see him claimed. I wonder what team it'll be, but yeah, I see it highly unlikely he stays unclaimed. Good
it
player.
He could go back to San Jose maybe. He could be claimed by San
He was
Jose
with
again.
San Jose originally. Yeah, I mean they waived Carpenter. They definitely need some help on that roster. I can see that.
Or I mean any team that's just starving for bodies. I mean, I could see any other 31 teams taking Johnny Brzezinski because he would help their roster unless there's teams that have log jams at forward. Like I know the Islanders love Ross Johnston, uh but Johnny Brzezinski's a better hockey player. I don't think that's a secret, and I don't think I'm insulting Islander fans except for the hardcore. Uh, I've been having season tickets since the team originated and everything that love their fights and everything. But yeah, I don't think he ends up going through waivers without being claimed.
hmm
That's the issue here. But let's see what's happening in the chat. I do want to catch up on chat a bit. Yeah,
Let's see some
Hallwell got sent down.
comments.
Kaner's coming back, hopefully.
W.
We
Here we
would
go.
be there. Patrick Kane, he is in Canada right now, rehabbing, I believe.
Yeah,
Live in
I
the
think that's the
Ontario
latest on
region.
him. I mean, it's clear he wants to stay in the New York region, right? I mean, I think it's the Rangers or the Sabres. I don't see anywhere else. Like the money doesn't matter to him. Not to go on a ramble here, but the money apparently doesn't matter to him at this point. Over 100 million in career earnings. He said he doesn't want to be switching teams. He wants to be in New York. He forced his way here. I think it's still pretty high odds he's back in a Ranger jersey.
Look at this guy.
Oh,
Look at this
Hi,
guy.
guys.
there he
guys.
is.
How late did that asshole show up to work?
Late enough to where it pissed me off. It was just some fucking stupid ass government guys. Fun. Mm. Stupidity. No, we're good though. We're back. We're here.
We're
You saved me a
Barack.
spot. I'm here.
Oh, we saved you a spot. We're Barack. But yeah, we'll continue talking about Patrick Kane probably throughout the show. Because I think it's realistic for him to come back. Like you said, I can't imagine him prioritizing money over winning at this stage of his career. Like I know he has 3 cups, but at the same time, you can make the argument, okay, like you said, he has $100 million in career earnings. What's more important to him? In my opinion, and if I were him, but I can't speak for him, I would want to get another cup. I would want to keep cup
Build your
chasing until I
legacy.
could fill my entire hand with rings.
Mm.
I would go that off the walls going for cups, but that's just me with that. But I agree with what you said when you texted the other day that I think the homecoming for him in Buffalo will happen. I just don't think the time is now until Buffalo is like a
Exactly.
proven team. Like next off season or the one after, sure. But I feel like this year
I
he's
don't
gonna.
see it now.
Yeah, I just see him wanting to go to a team that could win, and I think he's gonna take his time either way. Because I feel like if Buffalo, like let's just say Buffalo did want him, why wouldn't they just sign him right now and just put him on LTIR? Like, there's no reason if
That's a
he
good
was
point.
that interested in going to Buffalo, and if Buffalo wanted him that bad, they could easily just give him the
I
money,
feel
and
like
he
it'd
could
be a done deal by now. Yeah.
yeah, and he could go on LTIR and come when they're ready. No, I think Patrick Kane is sitting out because he wants to wait and see what each team's looking like come November, come December, maybe even. Like he might even take that long. Wait for teams to accrue more cap space to fit him into the roster spot. But we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Because it also for the Rangers, it's gonna depend a lot on obviously how Lafreniere does, which again we'll talk more about him later, and then it's going to depend on how Othman does in the AHL because if Othman's tearing it up in Hartford, he'll probably get called up instead of them going out and signing Kane. But we'll see. And yeah, Freak, this is my point though that we're gonna have to wait and see. We're gonna have to wait and see what his priority is here. But at the same time, I think what I said makes sense, and I think that he's just gonna wait and see. So we have to hope that the Rangers get off to a good start if they want a good chance of getting Patrick Kane back. But like starting on the 12th, we got the Patrick Kane Bowl. We got potentially the
We
Patrick Kane
do.
Bowl.
Rangers going at it with the Sabres. We do, yeah, we just got to get off to a hot start. I mean, winning's obviously what he's mostly prioritizing here. So get off to a hot start, save him a spot, accrue the cap space like it looks like we're doing, and we're rolling.
We'll most definitely save him a spot, and we'll most definitely be there, front and center when he's back. This I've been thinking about, but I think that it's more likely the Rangers move Barclay Goodrow to
Yes.
to fit Patrick Kane in than trade Lafreniere, because I think that they're gonna really just try to push this Lafreniere thing as far as they could, and
Yeah.
I think I still stand by what I said, despite people disagreeing with me. I think that if he doesn't start thriving, he's gone by the deadline. And if not that, the offseason, the latest. I can't imagine a world where if Lafreniere is stagnant still in his development, that he's wearing a Rangers uniform next season. I just can't.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just can't imagine that. I think Barca Goodrow's more likely to be out, especially if Johnny Brzezinski could clear waivers, and if Nick Bonino can just at least be serviceable for the Rangers, I think that they would be able to move Barclay Goodrow, and that's an asset that becomes expendable to bring Patrick Kane back. But we'll see.
Yeah, there's no shot Lafreniere's making it past this season if he's just been doing what he's been doing the last few years. It's even Friedman said it. There's concern with the Rangers. They're trying to give him every opportunity here, and this is the last one. I mean, if he doesn't succeed, even he could even be gone at the deadline if they see a player they like. He could be a part of a package if he's not performing. So, I mean, this is the make or break here, as we've been saying.
Yeah, I actually wanted to get to that. Thank you for reminding me about Elliot Friedman, because I think he went on a tangent about Lafreniere during
Did
32 Thoughts today. So this was what was said. Shout out to
Phil
Phil.
Kotcher.
What?
Phil Kotcher, right?
Yeah, on Twitter. He is always listening to these podcasts and giving us the quotes there. Shout out to him. But he tweeted what Elliot Friedman said on 32 Thoughts. And he said, I think there's a lot of concern about Lafreniere and what's going on there. I believe that the Rangers have bent over backwards to create the right environment for him. It didn't work between him and Gallant, unfortunately. Arthur Staple had reported earlier this summer out of the draft that he'd heard some rumors about Lafreniere. I heard similar, that maybe he would be out there, but the Rangers came back hard against that.
Hmm.
The
I
Rangers
feel like
really,
that was true. And Troy was trying to cover it up.
yeah, because that's the thing that doesn't make sense. Like, people are like, shut up. Drury denied that they were
Yeah.
trying to trade Lafreniere, because he's gonna go out there and be like, yeah, I tried
I
to
know.
trade him. Like,
Like,
yeah,
what?
that's gonna be a good idea to do, because it doesn't make sense that he took that long to sign. Like, let's be honest, Lafreniere is not going out there asking for the Tim Stützle deal. Like, he could
Mhm.
try, but if I'm Chris Drury, I'm laughing in his face. But
No pun
to
intended.
continue on with this, the Rangers really wanted to protect the kid and put him in the right mental frame to play this year. Everything they did this offseason was about how to make him comfortable. They don't want to give up on him. Still young, talented. They want to make this work. But people are starting to talk about, boy, he's looked really, really rough. I think you have to wait until the play starts and you see what it's like when the puck really drops. But there's a lot of people concerned about the way this is going. I can't imagine the Rangers aren't a little worried about what they're seeing based on what other people are telling me. It's got to be really frustrating for the Rangers, because they have really tried to do everything to make it work for him this offseason.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yep. I mean,
Not wrong.
there's an argument that they didn't move, that they were in on Tarasenko, but they didn't want to move mountains to bring him back because they wanted to accommodate Lafreniere and make sure he gets the top 6 opportunity.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure on him. There is a lot of pressure on him to perform well because, yeah, Chris Drury, I mean, he picked Lafreniere over Tarasenko. He did what he needed to do to fit him a spot here in the top 6 to go out and perform. So, I mean, it's all on them here. So anyway, the preseason obviously was not very um encouraging. But let's see when the regular season happens if we just see a shift because I mean we need it. We need it badly.
Really
We need
badly.
that more than anything. We really do. Where is he? There he is.
There he is. Our
I should have got that
glorious
on deck
king.
when you said it. But uh but yeah, I'm really curious now like what free agents the Rangers might have passed on just to because like Alec Freeman said, they bent over backwards. Like maybe they passed on Michael Bunting, maybe they passed on Tarasenko, Josh Archibald. But I don't know who they passed on, but they probably passed on a couple guys to move mountains to accommodate Lafreniere. And if he doesn't show it, I mean, this is a bad luck. And this is why I keep saying, and I don't know how people are disagreeing with this, that if he does not thrive this season, he's gone. He's not a Ranger 12 months from now if that happens, because unless the only way I could see it is if they win the Stanley Cup and he somehow has a great playoff performance. That's about it. But outside of that, if he has a poor regular season, can't imagine him being here next year.
It'd be hard to justify it, especially if guys like Othman and Cooley are really proving that they deserve spots.
Yeah, they're asking to be saved spots.
Mm-hmm.
So
and who knows what happens? I mean, you got to assume 2 to 3 years Perot will be ready too, and who knows what free agents cap space is created. I mean, got to show us something, dude. I mean, he's getting jumped by other guys.
Yeah,
Even Laviolette's sick of it, like already. Like he's demoted him already. He's not liking what he's seeing, obviously, which is not good. So I mean, he's gonna get that opportunity still in the top 6 to start the season, but I mean, he's kind of on a short leash.
Mm-hmm.
So
he might be on a shorter leash than we think because, like I've been saying, if they really don't like what they're seeing from Lafreniere early on, and he's really hurting this team, I would not be shocked if we see them move him, even in a cap dump type trade, just to bring Patrick Kane back. As dumb as people might say that is to move a young forward, to bring a 34, 35-year-old at the time, Patrick Kane back. If they don't like what they're seeing from Lafreniere, what choice do they have? What choice do they have? Because this team, sorry, this can't just be the Lafreniere show. They're trying to win a Stanley Cup while accommodating for Lafreniere. And if I'm being honest, I don't know why. I'm kind of scratching my head now that we're getting this info as to why Drury's even doing this. Like, are we trying to win a Stanley Cup here? Or are we trying to accommodate?
It's like we're just trying to hold his hand here, like helping him. Like we have a bigger mission to accomplish here and winning a Stanley Cup, and we can't just be by his side just trying to accommodate him with all these things. It's got to be the bigger picture here, winning a cup, and it's a team that needs to do it because I mean, who knows how much they have left? Because I mean, damn well
the core's already getting old.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, facts.
And I just don't understand too, because we're in year 4. Like, it would be one thing if it was after year 1. It's like, okay, and even if they were contending still, it's like, all right, let's try and get this guy that we expect to be a franchise player. Let's try to get him minutes. Let's see what he could do. But for whatever reason, like, come on, we're in year 4 now. We all know that he's not going to be a franchise caliber player. Like, even if anyone wants to hold out onto that and try to say that it's going to happen, I'm sorry to break the news to you. Y'all know that ain't happening. He's not going to be a franchise player. At best, I'm not saying that he can't be an effective NHL player. At best, I think he could still be like a 70-point guy potentially. But I truly do not believe he could be a 90 to 100-point franchise type guy that we initially thought we were getting when the Rangers drafted him. And he just hasn't shown enough. Could things turn around? Maybe, but I really can't envision that happening. I really can't. I hope it does, because I want to laugh at myself for being stupid, and it would obviously help this team win a Stanley Cup. But I can't envision that happening. That's the issue. I can't envision Lafreniere becoming a 90 to 100-point player. And it's like, at that point, you should have just made a move to improve your team for the now. But
Tough.
we'll move on to some preseason talk. We'll just jump straight into it. What are your guys' biggest positives from the preseason, despite them going 1-5? Let's get a positive here. Who wants to start?
Shut up. I gotta think. I gotta think.
Me too. The 5v5 play, I think, was better. I think we could all say that.
Yep.
Definitely like what I saw there. More structure, more system implied, of course. And it looked like they were just more forecheck. I like what I saw. They were moving the puck good in the offensive zone. They looked structured on defense a good amount of time. So I was not upset at all with the 5v5 play. I liked it a lot, and I would just want to see that going forward in the regular season because we haven't seen that in a few years.
Nick, what would you say is your positive of the preseason, if you have one?
Boy, some individuals. I'll say
we're gonna get to individuals in a bit, so try to pick something team related if you can, even though it's difficult.
The special teams was trash. 5v5 looked better. Dude, I'm not even. I don't know. The breakouts were a little bit better.
Stole mine.
Dude, I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, I genuinely, we went 1-5. I mean, there's not, and our penalty kill was like 60%. Our power play, we scored on one fucking power play. I think our power play was below 5%. I get it.
It was 1 for 22 because the Rangers in 2013, 2014 went 2 for 22 on their power play. And I was saying to myself, damn it, if the Rangers just converted on one more, the Stanley Cup run would have been bound.
I mean, dude, like, I'm genuinely trying to think because we didn't look more physical. I mean, a handful of guys were back checking harder than normal. 5v5 again looked a little bit better. Special teams was god awful. Our goalies were hung out to dry as they always are. The puck movement at times looked pretty good, but is that just a result of Fox being as good as he is and Gustafson being as good as they are, as they can move the puck well? I guess we're still passing over shots that we should be fucking taking. I don't know. Individuals, I can give you high praise on certain individuals, but as a team, I wasn't moved at all in the preseason. I really wasn't. We had one good period, I think, of the entire preseason, and it was the game that we won where we scored 2 or 3 goals in the first period. Now, I mean, that was literally, I can't think of like a stretch of goodness that lasted longer than that, and that lasted for like 15 minutes out of a 20-minute period. It's literally about all I got. I don't mean to be a doom singer, but I don't know.
No, it's fair. It's hard to grasp. It's hard to grasp something when they did when they went 1-5. If I was gonna give a positive outside of the breakout passes, I would kind of tie what Nico said with the 5v5 play, with the fact that they still were. If you look at every single night on Natural Stat Trick, the Rangers won outside of like that game against the Islanders. I think they dominated, or they at least won in terms of the Corsi and the scoring chances for percentage every single night at 5v5. So that's at least a step in the right direction. If they could just, it kind of leads me to the next part, which I'll just jump right into the concern that I have from the preseason: the lack of scoring opportunities and getting pucks to the net. Just way too much. And like Laviolette said from last night, way too much east-west play at times. They need to start
almighty, that shit is so annoying too.
It really is. They need to just start getting straight ahead, and they need to find their way to the net more, and they need to start getting pucks on net.
Yeah, too many passing up high-quality scoring chances, shooting the puck. We saw multiple times on the power play, 5v5, whatever it was. Just unacceptable. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we'll get to the individual players, as you said, to talk about concerns there because there definitely is a few. But yeah, as a team, definitely wasn't too impressed. I mean, we won 1-5, and there were some rough moments in there. So hopefully clean them up now and get ready for the regular season. But there was things to definitely be concerned about.
I think that um like in terms of another concern, instead of us going individually for this one, obviously the special teams that we mentioned, the special teams just brutal, and it felt like every single time that they made a turnover in the neutral zone, it bit them so hard in the ass. They were stuck in the defensive zone way too much on way too many shifts because of just one little turnover. So they need to clean up both work in the defensive zone to get the puck out, and they need to work on their passing and carries through the neutral zone. They need more puck support like we saw in that game that they won against the Islanders. Something that was so special about that was the way they carried the puck as a unit through the neutral zone. So that's something that we need to see better of. But we'll get into the individual players. Which player impressed you guys the most during the preseason?
Eric Gustafson. He's been
Yeah,
the absolute
yeah.
most, and I'm not even I don't want to omit Cooley and Othman because they played great, but Eric Gustafson is better than I thought he was, and mostly because and we saw how good he was offensively, but defensively he shocked me. I did not think he was that good all around as a defenseman. He really, I genuinely thought of him as like a bottom pairing puck moving defenseman and literally nothing else, and he proved to be a lot more than that. I genuinely think he could be a top 4 defenseman, a 40-50 point guy, and run a power play by himself. He was, for me, the highlight of the entire preseason.
Yeah, that's something that I was gonna rave about when it comes to Gustafson, and something that I mentioned on my post game yesterday. I think part of why Gustafson shined so much this preseason, why he looked like the best player throughout the preseason, is because he's already adapted to Laviolette's system, and I think that is part of why he's a better defensive player than we thought too. Because when we remember Gustafson, we remember how he was in Chicago, where he was just a puck moving defenseman that quarterbacks a power play and does not chip in defensively at all. If you look at his analytics and go in depth, he was actually very, very solid defensively. Like not anything off the chart, off the JFresh charts, outstanding with his defensive play, but he was at least middle of the pack and he was providing serviceable defense. Something that, like you said, I didn't think we were going to get. And that's something that we have to, see what happens as well. Because look at Eric Gustafson, who's already, he already knows what Laviolette's system is. He's already adjusted. What's that going to mean for the rest of the team when they actually start to adjust? I think that we have to give it time and we have to wait and see what happens there. Because once they adjust to the system, this team could actually turn things around and start to impress.
I mean, he might be second best defenseman on the team with the way he looked in that preseason.
I'd agree.
And yeah, like I really did not expect what we saw from him. Like I remember Toronto fans and Washington fans were like, "Oh yeah, good luck with Gustafson. This dude is like horrible on defense," but he was. I mean, I thought he was just offense too, but on defense he shined. So I'm really excited for him for 825K. That was easily Chris Drury's best deal given out this offseason. So I mean, I'm excited for him, and it was a 1 year deal. I don't know how he's probably like low 30s. Like Ryan Lindgren's on a 1 year deal. I don't know. Maybe this is a guy you could prioritize bringing back for the future, even over Ryan Lindgren. You know?
Yeah, I think that Drury right now is regretting not giving him a 2 year deal. He probably is already regretting not trying. Maybe he tried. I don't know, but he at least hopefully tried to give a 2 year deal to Gustafson because
you'd hope so.
Yeah, because this is a guy that you're going to want back if he's going to continue to play like this. Because he could play, you could argue he could play on any pair. Like when we had to see Nico Mikkola on the top pair last year, painful. When we had to see Schneider in his rookie year on the top pair at times, painful. Like a guy like Gustafson, I feel like you you could live with him on your top pair at times if you need to because of an injury. You could live with him on your middle pair, and he's really good on your third pair. Like, he could play anywhere. I think that Gustafson's easily been the most impressive player. If I'm gonna give a different name, outside of Coley too, because Coley, I want to talk about him more too, who ended up working his way onto the team, and we kind of talked about him earlier. But Capo Caco easily, there's a legitimate argument right now that he's the Rangers' best 5v5 player, at least from what we've seen.
Yeah,
he looks so good. I'm still mad at him for not shooting that puck yesterday when he had a great opportunity to. But outside of that, Capo Caco has just been so impressive. And once the confidence is fully here when it comes to shooting the puck, we might see at least 70 to 80% of the player we thought we were getting when the Rangers drafted him.
Totally agree. Keep him up there with Kreider and Zibanejad. He's gonna. I'm confident in like a 60-point season. I really am. I think the points start flowing in for Capo Caca this season. He is just so impressive. His just work on the puck, just keeping it down low, freaking
drawing penalties.
I remember you tweeted yesterday he could lead the league in penalties drawn this year, which is definitely not ridiculous to say. I think he's definitely gonna be up there. He's so strong in the puck. He has that shot yesterday, unbelievable. He has a lot of positives in his game that we're really starting to see here. So I'm confident in a Capo breakout. I really am.
I think he's a guy that could truly have a 30-30 season because the way he shoots the puck, he could score goals and chip in. And then the way he could open up the ice and set up plays, it just pains me. If Mika Zibanejad and Chris Kreider could start getting in the middle of the ice more and getting opportunities, Caco will find them. Caco has been carrying the puck around. You see him at times in the offensive zone carrying the puck for up to 45 seconds in the offensive zone. And he's looking for guys to get open. Nobody does. That's the problem. But if guys were getting open for him, you would see his assist totals go up like crazy.
Yeah, 100%. He's just working around those boards, trying to find someone in the middle of the ice. Just be there for him. He's going to make the play and easy goal. So hopefully we start to see that from Mika and Kreider, as you said.
Kreider looked solid though. I mean, I didn't mind how Kreider looked at preseason. At least he looked like he was trying.
Yeah. You know where you get it from Chris Kreider.
Right.
Yeah. We know exactly what we're getting from him. But Nico, who are you gonna say as your surprise player or impressive player?
Yeah. So Nick said what did you say again?
I said Gustafson.
Yeah. You said why am I forgetting? Oh my god, Kako. And then Cully obviously is an obvious one, Othman's an obvious one. If I can give another name other than that, that might be a little tough. I don't know. I think could I just say Collier Othman because I don't know another player that really stood out. I'll say Othman because I bet we'll get to Coley. He's the one that obviously made the roster.
Mm-hmm.
Othman, we saw him get sent down today, but we always expected that from the jump. But he made it hard for the Rangers to send him down. He really gave it a drive here, so I think we definitely could see him at some point this season. He's unbelievable. Like the way he shoots the puck, he gets in your face type of game, the speed he brings. Like there's so many things to love about Brennan Othman. So I was really impressed with him this preseason. We knew he was kind of the real deal, and he was proving it out there for sure.
I'll never forget how mad people were on draft night because they didn't draft the center.
Yep.
And I was like, no.
Steal, man.
I was like, hold up, let Jory cook. And Statboy Steven would probably say the same because that's Stalker. He knows everything about Othman.
Stalker.
He knows everything about Othman.
Sick fuck.
Too bad he's not here to talk about Othman because he could tell us everything. But in all seriousness, yeah, Othman looked really good, and it kind of annoys me. It feels like the Rangers set him up for failure at the end of preseason by throwing him with Nick Bonino and Jimmy Vesey at times. Like,
I agree.
Come on, let him get the opportunities. Like, would it really have hurt you to try him? Like, would it really have killed you for a game to move Wheeler to center, and then just have Goudreau play on the wing in the top 9, like, or not Goudreau, Othman, and move Goudreau down is what I mean. Instead of having Goudreau be in the top 6, because Barca Goudreau, if he's lucky, he won those 2 cups. Otherwise, he'd be speaking fluent Chinese by now, because
seriously.
Those 2 cups saved his
resume, man. It really did.
It really saved his career, because he would be a nothing burger. Otherwise, like, he would be a guy passed around like a blunt in this league, like more than Ryan Reeves, arguably. He pisses me off, but and he's cap strapped this team. Great. Oh, we're talking about positives though. But yeah, with Brendan Othman, yeah, he's easily going to be knocking at the doorstep all season long to be on this team. He's going to light it up in the AHL, and I don't mind this. Over marinate the kid. Let him get as much time in the AHL as he needs. When he's ready, bring him back up. I think the Rangers learned their lesson with prospects here, and that it's better to just over marinate these guys versus just rushing them up. Even though there could have been an argument to bring Othman up, just stay patient. Just stay patient. There's no harm in staying patient with him. But outside of that, yeah, Will Coley forced his way onto the team. Kid's unbelievable.
Awesome.
The only thing that I want, Blake tweeted it out earlier, get rid of that number 50, please, now that you're with the team full time. Please get rid of that number 50. But I don't know what number would look good on him. Like, what number would fit him?
I don't know. I mean, he wore 13. He wore 13 in junior, but obviously that.
But he can't wear that until November, so.
Oh yeah, true.
I don't know. To tell you the truth, I almost don't. I think 50 is kind of unique. I think it's pretty cool. I'm not opposed to it. I don't know. He plays a unique style to the Rangers in that, like, he actually plays hard and tries. So fuck it, let him have a unique number.
I wonder if Othman's gonna change his number when he's with the team full time too. Like, you don't see 78 often, but I kind of like 78. I don't know. I just don't like 50 though.
He rocks 78, Othman.
Yeah, I just don't like 50 though. I could see Will Coley rocking like 28. I feel like he could rock a nice 28.
18.
Someone just said in the chat too. I'm not the only one thinking it. Give him a nice 28. I don't need Elias Anderson vibes out there. We got this pick for Elias Anderson. I don't need him rocking number 50 out there. Let's go. And Elias Anderson got waived, by the way, and Will Coley made the team. What a world we live in.
W trade.
Please. Will Coley, you could argue, has already made more of an impact from his small sample size last year with the Rangers than Elias Anderson ever did with the Rangers.
Yep. Although I still think Elias Anderson could have been a quality NHLer had they treated him a little bit better and worked with him more instead of, like, dude, that whole thing where he just wanted to live with Zibanejad, they couldn't even fucking give him that.
Yeah, that was bullshit.
That was so stupid. That was just so fucked up.
Yeah, Jeff Gordon and John Davidson are fucking stupid.
Just losers.
But you're telling me that him playing also with Brendan Smith on the wing and Michael Haley.
Right. Yeah, that was a solution. I mean, dude, that preseason, and I know this is a weird thing to talk about. There was one preseason, it might have been year 3, where he was absolutely unreal in preseason. He scored a beautiful shorthanded goal against the Flyers. He was playing his ass off. He was all over the ice, and their immediate response was, "Okay, we're just going to send him down or put him on the 4th line." It's like, god damn. I don't know. The Rangers were never good at developing.
Wasn't that the preseason where Hedl did get sent down and then
yeah, but he looked like trash that preseason, if you remember. But then he came back and killed it. It was good ever since.
Yeah, well, no, I meant with Elias Anderson. Wasn't that the one where he looked good? Elias Anderson?
No, that was year 1. That was right after the draft because Hedl made it out of his draft year. I think this was year 2, maybe. Might have been year 3 for Elias, where he looked fucking awesome, man. He just took a shit on him for no reason. Sent him down.
Yeah.
I think that was a Drury thing. I don't know. I think him and Drury didn't get along. Same way Drury didn't get along with Kravtsov or literally anybody that was young.
Yeah, it could be. Oh, yeah. And then the writing on the wall with his career is when he tripped on that camera wire.
Yep.
That was like,
oh, man.
That was like how you knew that
Tough
this
look.
wasn't gonna go well.
Tough look.
That I felt bad for him though, but
It just sucked. I mean, they really did everything they can to bury him. And even when he was on the NHL roster for that like 30 or 40 game stretch, however long he was that one season, he was playing 7-8 minutes a night. Like he wasn't even given a chance to make an impact.
yeah, I really I feel bad for him with the way that the whole situation went down here. I really do. But now he's with the Montreal affiliate because he got sent down.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Laval,
tough.
yeah, it's tough.
That's really tough. How many points does he even have right now in his career? Oh my god. His peak is 6 points in a season.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Man.
Oof.
Poor
Oof.
guys.
I feel bad for the guy. I can't shit on him. I genuinely think it could have worked out and he could have carved out a nice little NHL career if the Rangers would have been better off. Would have been better at developing him. Now, I mean, it's on both sides. It's not entirely the Rangers' fault, but I was a believer in Elias Anderson for a minute because I thought he looked really good a few times in preseason, and even in Hartford, he was awesome in Hartford. It's just never really given the right chance to succeed.
It doesn't help too that it doesn't help either that the Rangers' intention was to trade up to get Cale Makar or Elias Pettersson.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was the intention. And
should have pulled the damn trigger. I mean, instead of sitting on their hands, they wanted to rebuild so bad, and they sat on their fucking hands and they paid the price for it.
Yep. But we'll move on. Which player disappointed you the most? And I mean, I think that there's three that really stick out very easily. Nick Bonino, Alexi Lafreniere, Jonathan Quick.
I'll throw Panarin in there too. Throw Panarin in there.
Panarin's a fair one. Panarin
Blake
really
maybe too.
At least Wheeler looked like he was trying and like was at least present. I feel like the other ones weren't even fucking present sometimes. Bonino did have some good plays too. Bonino had plays where he looked really like, oh wow, this got to be a decent fourth line center, but the vast majority of the time, just looked like another body out there. He looked like Jarrett. Remember we had Jarrett Stoll for 11 games or Jeff Halpern? He was just like that. Like he was just washed up, and it's showing. I feel bad for him because I like Bonino. I just think we got him 5 or 6 years too late.
Even like 2 years too late. Like even if they had Nick Bonino 2 years ago, it would have been good. But yeah, Schneider's another one I forgot. Good call there. Good call there, Matt. I agree. Brain Schneider was disappointing, but his last preseason game really saved him a bit.
Yeah.
In terms of me really ripping on the kid, because otherwise I would have been screaming for Zach Jones to be getting the full-time job as a sixth defenseman. But either
Jones
way,
had a sneaky good preseason, dude.
Jones was very good. Yeah, Jones was very good.
I think it's fair to make an argument that, I mean, with the way Schneider played in the preseason, and we might see a Jones-Gustafsson combination in the regular season. I don't think it's impossible.
The dialogue might have to be initiated on that one.
I think we should initiate it, and I think, honestly, put Gustafsson with Trouba and put Miller with Jones or something like that. Fuck it, put Fox with Jones. Let's get weird. I mean, why not give it a shot?
I'm down for whatever, because Schneider has just not been good. But I think that the biggest disappointment, I mean, not that it's really disappointing because we knew what we were getting. Jonathan Quick, though.
Yeah, that was tough.
I remember people were so mad at me because I was ripping on the signing. Like, why are you so mad at a backup goalie signing? I don't know. The dude's playing like 20 plus games for the team, and they need to get some pressure off of Igor Shesterkin.
Yeah. Not promising off the rip. Not promising.
He looks unplayable. I don't think this
it's not going to work.
Going to make it past a couple months. I don't see it.
Especially if Garon is going to play the way he did in the preseason.
My force is way up.
He's Quick's in trouble. And Jonathan was not so quick at all this preseason. He looked fucking slow in that. Looked too small too. Like, I don't even I know we say Benoit Lair is like the equivalent of Harry Potter if we want to use that meme. Like, I don't even think he could.
Lair can't even save him.
Yeah, I don't even think he could save him on this one. So because Jonathan Quick, I mean, he's been bad for the past like 4 or 5 years now. I don't know what the Rangers were doing signing this guy to begin with. Like his peak was a 910 save percentage in the last 5 years, which is acceptable backup play. But outside of that, you have below 900 in every other year and a 904 in one of the years. Like I know Halak was asking for $2 million, but you're telling me that a guy like even Alex Lyon, like I mentioned a few weeks ago, wouldn't have been a better option?
I don't know what the obsession is in the NHL that your backup goalie has to be a washed-up starter. Like, why can't you just have a young backup? Like, I don't know. Like Louis Domingue, and I know it's $100,000, but he's making $100,000 less than Jonathan Quick. What was wrong with just having Domingue as your backup? I don't think Domingue's much worse than Quick.
Jay made a really good point in the chat. Quick was just a PR move, being a Rangers fan, nothing more.
I agree with that.
I agree
with that 100%.
Big reason. I agree.
Quick definitely went knocking on Drury's door, and he's like, "Oh, all right, I have a backup now. I have a goalie."
Absolutely.
When in reality, Drury should have used his brain a bit and should have got a better backup goalie. Because you're right, it seems like every backup goalie has to be a washed-up. It has to be a washed-up veteran or a washed-up starter. Like.
There had to be other options. I mean, there were. I say had to be. There were other options out there. Louis Domingue, who's literally already on your team under contract, was one of them. You could have just signed a minor league goalie to split time with Garand if you were that worried about not having Domingue in the minors.
It would have cost an extra cap, but I would have argued bringing back Cam Talbot would have been a better option. At least Benoit Lair is also familiar with the guy. Like,
what did Talbot even sign for?
$1 million in LA.
Yeah, but you wonder if Talbot would have even taken that to come here. He might have taken less. Might have. I don't know.
I don't know. Like, it's not like a thing where it's like he signed in a place where, the taxes are cheaper and everything. He signed in LA. Like,
right, exactly.
So I don't know if we could even, spare with that argument. I'm trying to see what other.
I would have loved to have Talbot back. Talbot was awesome, dude. I mean, that dude went from a 26-year-old AHL fringe starter goalie to just, at one point, a Vezina Trophy candidate in Edmonton. Remember how good he was in Edmonton those first couple of years? I want to pull up his numbers,
and then they ran him into the ground playing him like 70 games or whatever it was, right?
Yeah, they really did. Dude, there was a point in time where Talbot was ahead of Henrik Lundqvist in the top 10 goalies in the league after his first year or two in Edmonton. Dude, his first year in Edmonton, he had a .917 save percentage, followed that with a .919, a .908, then it dropped to an .893. He played 56, 73, and then 67 games. They literally played him until he couldn't move anymore.
Yeah.
That's insane, dude. Holy fuck. It was good, man. Dude, he had a .941 save percentage his rookie season with the Rangers. He was a big reason the Rangers were as good as they were in 2013, 2014. I think he was part of that big turnaround. 164 goals against. And then he comes back the next season, plays 15 more games, and posts a .926 save, a .221 goals against. I mean, those are Vezina numbers.
They could have. I know that they want to save cap, but they could have went a little over their budget here on a backup goalie. Like, I truly think that just because Quick knocked on the door and they're like, all right, you're the guy. Like, wouldn't you have rather spent, a couple extra bucks here on like Laurent Brossoit, who signed for $1.5 million, or just
anything?
Literally anyone. Like, you could argue that Jonathan Quick at this point is like is a bottom 5 goalie in the entire league.
Yeah, it's very possible. No, it's not. I don't want to say it's impossible for him to turn it around. It was just a preseason, but it's concerning.
Martin Jones signed for a similar price. I don't know how he's been. I don't know if Martin Jones would have been better, but
terrible.
Yeah, Martin Jones.
Lindgren. I mean, Charlie Lindgren, I was really wanting the 2022 offseason. He sounded like a 3-year deal for what was it? It was like probably 1.4 or something. I don't know how he did really last year, but I thought he could have been an option, especially brothers with Ryan Lindgren. The Rangers and loving to bring in connections.
No, because it has to. Nico, you're missing the point. It has to be a guy that was a starting goaltender at one point in their career, but they're cooked now. You're missing the point. See, Nico, you went wrong because you're using your brain.
Right.
That's where you went wrong.
Something the Rangers don't do, right?
You must be new here.
Yeah. Everybody laugh and point at the new guy. Look at the new guy. Get a load of this one. You
Little
used
chat's
your
laughing.
brain. Apologize now for using your brain.
I apologize, man. I mean, it's hard not to do sometimes, but
No,
it is what it is.
hard not to do. That's the easiest part of being an NHL GM is just not using your brain.
Seriously.
It's
Just be
ridiculous.
as brain dead as possible.
You could have argued that even like, okay, maybe not for this guy. I was gonna say like even Eric Shalgren might have been a better option, but he's not much better. But
Bring
there
back
had to
Anders
have been
Lindback.
what?
Where's Skapsky?
Where's Skapsky?
Actually, you know what? Brandon Halverson. Get Halverson out here. Is he even still playing hockey? I wonder if he's just like quit. He might have just straight up quit.
This is another one right here. Like Connor Ingram put up a 907 last year at the fucking Arizona Coyotes. You're telling me that you get him with the Rangers, he can't put up similar, if not better numbers? Like,
Oh, Halverson. Oh.
this just pissed me off.
He's playing the DEL too. Halverson, what happened to you, sir? You were a second-round pick. He's 27 now? Fuck. 2014 was that long ago? Yeah, I guess about 10 years ago now. Damn, it's been a decade since the Rangers went to the Cup.
Yep, it has.
I was a fucking freshman in high school. God damn, I'm getting old, dude. Fuck. I hate that.
I would agree with Alex Nedeljkovic, but he's the definition of a guy who had a insanity run.
Yeah.
He fell off. But this kind of leads into what I had next lined up. What are your guys' way too early trade deadline wishes?
Oh, you go first. I have a list I made.
In terms of realistic options, too.
Oh, well, maybe I don't have as big a list as I thought.
Elias-
So what, you guys start.
Well, I guess we can't
Lindholm.
rule anything out except for, like, obviously, I got, like, Pat Maroon. Like, we can't get that good of a caliber player at the deadline.
No. Again, be realistic here.
Yeah.
Lower your expectations. Brent Seabrook. Yeah, that's who I want.
I like that.
No, honestly, dead ass. And I'm not even kidding because I don't think it's impossible. I mean, if it's popsicle, it's possible. We all remember those commercials. I think if the Coyotes suck, Jason Zucker.
Oh.
I'm a Zucker guy. I can get weird with Zook. Or if the Rangers want to be big spenders and they can somehow fucking make it work, put together a Laffy plus package and bring me Elias Pettersson. And I don't know. I mean, maybe call the Penguins. The Penguins suck. They won't trade you Gensel, but maybe try to get Gensel. He's pretty dope. He's pretty cool. Good looking guy. Good at hockey. Let's see. Tarasenko. No, I'm gonna go there. Jonathan. Vegas is not gonna be bad. Hey, how about this? If Calgary sucks, which they're probably gonna suck, Noah Hannafin, Elias Lindholm. Detroit sucks. David Perron, Victor Olofsson in Buffalo. Do I need to keep going on this Jack Harlow train? We got options. We have a lot of options. Nick Foligno.
Jack Harlow train.
Dude, this deadline, I don't think people realize how low-key stacked this deadline's going to be with pending UFAs and RFAs this year. There are going to Jack Roslovic.
Not anymore
Brendan
because
Dillon.
Zuccarello's off the market, so
We don't
our
talk
guy's
about
gone.
that. We don't talk about that. Why you talk? We don't talk about that. Zuccarello's not signed. He's a free agent next year. Got me fucked up over there. God almighty. No, this is good. There are Jack Harlows out there. I'm
All
not.
these hoes got me fucked up. The Minnesota Wild got me fucked up.
God almighty. No, I think there's a lot of options. My unrealistic number one option in the world is Elias Pettersson. My more realistic option, if he can play as good as he played in Pittsburgh and kill other teams as much as he killed us, is Jason Zucker and Brendan Dillon.
Let me tell you this: if the Vancouver Canucks do suck,
well, they're not. They're not. You said they're not going now. So.
If they did, which I mean, a lot of people.
It's not going to happen. But let's hear it.
It's not happening. But would you guys be down? I saw a proposal about this earlier. Elias Pettersson for Laffy, Hedel.
Yes.
Laffy, Hedel, Zach Jones in a first.
Yes, I would. As a matter of fact, I'll double down. I'll throw in a second first. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think.
Do I need to go Big Apple hockey on you and pull up the layup gif on you? Like, do I need to go that far with this one? Yes. Yeah.
I throw it. I'm telling you right now, I would throw in even more if they asked me.
I
wouldn't
not
give a hoot.
How long is the drive from New York to Vancouver? Because I don't give a fuck.
Man.
I'm packing all their bags, helping them sell their houses or apartments wherever they're living, and moving them all to Vancouver myself.
Let's see. Madison Square Garden directions.
You've got the
They can get in the
Two.
taxi with Gerard Gallant if they want to, and
Taxi-
Rick Tock gets fired too.
Where did the Vancouver Canucks play? Who the fuck knows? Here.
Rod.
Don't they play it?
What's the name of their stadium? I don't fucking know. All right, let's see. It's calculated now. Give Apple Maps a second here. It's a long drive for them. Let's see. It's 2,990 miles. There's a handful of tolls. I hope you're okay with that.
No big deal.
It'll take about 1 day and 19 hours if you drive straight.
Well,
that's more than doable.
we will be there.
Let me go get my
We're
suitcase and
there.
jacket. I'll be there.
So, let's put it this way. If that's the trade package, and that actually worked.
Yeah.
You're trading a 7th defenseman from your team. See you later.
He'd be a top 4 defenseman in Vancouver.
Probably. I mean, Vancouver does not have a good blue line.
Mhm.
But Nico thinks otherwise, so I'm wrong. But you're trading the guy who's pretty much the whipping boy of the team at this point. When we thought it was going to be Barclay Goodrow, it's now Lafreniere. You're trading the whipping boy. And the most valuable piece you're losing in that deal is Phil Peedle, who, don't get me wrong, I love Phil Peedle, but I mean,
dude, I'm sorry. I'll take the risk. I'll take the risk for the guy that's already scored 100 points.
Yeah, I think that might be worth doing your homework on if you're Bruce Garrett right there. I think you got to study that one. You got to continue to study that one.
We're gonna study that option. Methinks.
I think we're gonna be Bruce Garrett and Jack Harlow at the same time. We're gonna study the options here, and
we will be there. I mean, dude, I don't even, to tell you the truth, I don't even think that would be a discussion. It wouldn't need to be a discussion for me. I don't know.
So yeah,
24 years old. He's already a Selke candidate. He's already scored over 100 points. Yeah, I will be there.
I think Vancouver considers a package like that. They like Lafreniere, we know that.
Yeah.
And they've been linked to him. Hedl is a good 2C, would be a good 2C. And then Zach Jones, as you said, would slot right in, a first-round pick, especially with having no leverage potentially.
Right. You throw in Barclay Goodrow, who everybody wants Barclay Goodrow. I would go as far
to say, too, this might be a tough one to swallow, but I would go as far as to say I would throw Talon Boyko in the deal, too.
All right. Well,
that's
hold on.
a deal breaker, I think.
So here's where you kind of got me fucked up now, because we already were talking about a slight overpayment. Now you've crossed the line between this is a chance, this is just totally satire, and I just think you just shit on the whole thing, if I'm being honest.
No, because
I can't even get back into it now. You said Talon Boyko. No, the fact that you even said his fucking name.
It's just fine though. No, it's fine though. The reason why Boyko's going in the deal, hear me out here. Let me cook. Is because we're getting Artis Silva's back in the deal the other way. That's why.
Talon Boyko. Oh yeah, Talon Boyko. He's a throw-in, guys. We'll just throw him in. Go ahead and have him. Yeah. Jesus Christ. God almighty. If you're going to talk out of your ass, at least turn around so I can understand you. God almighty. Yeah, they're throwing Talon Boyko. Oh, look at me. Yeah, that's why you're not a GM and Chris Drury is. Throw in Talon Boyko. Shut up while I apply my chapstick. Yeah, just throw him in. Sure. Why don't you just have our franchise while you're at it? Go ahead, just take MSG too. We don't need it. God almighty.
Actually, don't. I would take getting rid of the Chase Bridge. Yeah, include the Chase Bridge in the deal. All right, now we're really giving up a lot. Giving up the Chase Bridge, that's too much.
God almighty, dude.
Giving up some money that we earned from the bathroom revenue. Dolan, no! Give it fucking back!
Oh God, I'm sweating after that one.
But
That's great.
in all seriousness, I would easily take that trade, and if they even had to include 2 first-round picks,
Sign me
whoop
up.
de fucking do. Whoop
Sign
de
me up.
fucking do. I'm
Yep.
easily making that trade, and if you move Phil Peedle and the cap jump is that big, you have
You
room to
Are
extend him.
extending him.
Right.
Yes.
So it's not like it's unrealistic. And then either way, I think Barca Goudreau's learning his knee hows and knee knows by either the trade deadline or after or the offseason. So
For sure.
it's
Right.
not a problem. Plus Lafreniere's caps off the books. So how much does that open up? You got the
7
It
and
opens
change.
up a lot.
Probably close to 8. What is Hedel making? 5 and change? 5 and a half?
Plus the cap
4.4.
jump.
Someone do the math on this one. I'm not a math guy. I just got out of school passing here. So 4.
It'll be about 7, but obviously
No, wouldn't it be more? Because you got 4.5 from Hedel,
It's 10 plus.
3.6 from Goudreau, and then 2.3 from
Oh, you're right.
Lafreniere.
Okay, you're saying if Goudreau's included. Okay. So let's say this. Goudreau and Hedel
Well, no,
combined
I'm just
is
saying
a
for the
tad over
offseason.
8 million.
I'm just saying for the offseason,
Oh,
you'd
okay.
have all 3 of those guys gone, so Pedersen can get extended.
So
Plus
you're
the cap
you're
jump
netting
will get
about
4
10 and
mil at
change.
least, hopefully.
You're netting a little over 10 because Goudreau and Hedel will combine for a little over 8. You throw Laffy in there, that sends you way over 10. I'd say probably 10 and a half, which is about roughly what you'd expect on a Pedersen extension. Maybe a touch under 10 and a half for Pedersen. I don't know how greedy he's going to want to be, but with the cap going and plus the cap going up, you're probably looking at what's the cap going up to? It's going to 87, so it's 87 and a half.
Nico, you got me like LeBron James now, man. You're just
Dude,
making
we're
me
gonna
horny
start
now.
this dialogue now.
It's like 14
Oh
and
my
that's like 14
God.
million. I don't know. And like we already talked about, the free agent class is going to be great. So I'm with it.
The 2 Swedes up the middle and Pedersen
Dude.
and
And
Zibanejad.
Dude.
Oh man.
and you have
I'm
a
so
hole on the
LeBron
wing,
James.
so there a spot is saved for number 88 playing on his wing.
Dude,
Oh my
100 fucking
God.
Well,
You're
dude,
just making
not
me
only
horny
that
now.
too, but you're guaranteeing yourself that either Zibanejad or Pedersen are out there, not against the other team's top D pair. Every shift they're out there. Dude, I'm telling you right now, that could be freaking
Hold
nasty.
on.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
Preying
But
on
it'd be
this Vancouver downfall, man.
Nico,
Now preying on this
I'd offer the
downfall.
trade pants with you, but I don't think you want them. Like, I really don't think you want them. Your
Dude,
pants might be just as messy though.
Oh, they
Jesus
are.
Christ.
They definitely are. From Matt at 8 million opening
Nico.
up next year when we trade Trubin's helmet.
Dude.
It's very true as well.
Nico, you gotta open the sports book for the other way now. You gotta pray on Vancouver's
I
downfall.
do.
You
Yeah,
gotta speak it into existence.
100%.
We need
We-
this more than
we're-
anything.
I can't even putting up Mbappe here is not even enough for
Doesn't
how
do
much
it
we need that more
justice.
than
It needs to be
anything.
at least close up.
We
Facts.
need at least like 10 pictures of Mbappe and it's just as zoomed in on his eye. Like
This is odd.
That's all
I-
we need.
they could
This
get
really got
Elias
me
Pettersson.
thinking, oh my gosh, dude.
God, that would be so sick.
And I don't even give a rat's ass that I ordered a Phil Peedle jersey. I don't even give a rat's
Oh,
ass.
yeah, sorry.
Let us
I'm
cook
sorry
with
for
this
Peedle, but
hypothetical.
my guy Phil Peedle, I'm sorry, but don't let the fucking door hit you on the way out, buddy.
Mhm. God,
Cause
that'd be so sick, dude. Everybody wants Lafreniere and everybody wants Gaudreau. Barclay Gaudreau is over 6 feet tall. He won 2 cups that he was a 4th liner for, and he's making 3.6 million. Is that not economical?
who are you?
Everybody
to say that,
wants
Jay?
Gaudreau.
Jay, what's wrong with you?
God almighty.
But in all seriousness, Lafreniere and Vancouver have had connections in the past, so there's something there potentially.
Something to watch.
And even if, oh no, you have to throw in another prospect. Oh no, however will I recover with Elias Pettersson all of a sudden being my franchise center? Whatever will I do? Oh, you're really killing me here. Oh my God. Oh no, we have to get rid of. Oh no, Adam Sikora's gone. Oh no, we
Woe
can't
is
do it.
me.
My
We can't
glorious
do it
day.
now. We can't do it now. I'm not even ordering that Elias Pettersson jersey anymore on day one.
No, can't do it.
I'm telling you right now, if the Rangers got Elias Pettersson, I'm the first Elias Pettersson jersey owner. Telling
Mhm.
you.
Wouldn't even hesitate.
Yeah. Why trade Lafreniere when his value is low? Just the Rangers' way. Is his value ever going to be high?
I don't think it'll ever be high.
Is that ever
I
going to
think
be
every
high?
day that goes by,
Never.
that value is getting lower and lower.
Yeah.
Unless he pops off this year.
I'm trying to think even what's a comparable trade to an Elias Pettersson deal.
25-year-old pending RFA center.
Could we argue?
A franchise, you'd use Eichel would be the comparison. The
I
only
was
difference
gonna
is
say,
Eichel signed long term, but
and
you
the
still
other
have
thing,
rights.
yeah, but that if anything could hurt Pettersson's value because the team has to try to sign him to an extension.
Right.
And on top of that, it kind of evens out because Eichel had the neck injury, so it kind of balances things out.
Eichel would be your comparable, and if you're using Eichel as the floor, you're looking at so you'd put
the trade was
Lafreniere-
Tuck, Krebs, a first, a second for Eichel, and a third.
So that's the equivalent, in my opinion, that would be equivalent of a first and a second, obviously.
Yep.
Lafreniere being Alex Tuck, which I don't think that's unfair.
No, Phil Petel's probably their Alex Tuck in that deal.
You think so? Then that means Lafreniere doesn't go the other way. Peyton Krebs would then be the equivalent of a
okay. Then Lafreniere is the Alex Tuck. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would either be Laffy or Hedel, and then the young prospect, which you could argue at the time Krebs was a B+, maybe an A- prospect. You're looking at a Cooley, an Othman, a Perot, or something along those lines, assuming that trade is mocked exactly like that.
Whatever will I do?
I know. I don't know how you'll survive.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even care if the Rangers had to give up more. I really wouldn't.
And I think they would. I think the Eichel one's a hard one to do because only the Rangers, the Golden Knights, and there was one other team were even gesturing at trading for Eichel because of the weird cap thing. So there wasn't a whole lot of suitors for Eichel, whereas a lot of guys, because of the cap opening up, might take more swings at Pettersson. So you'd assume a price increase on Pettersson against Eichel.
I don't mean to sound like I work for Nike, but just fucking do it. Like, how many times are we gonna be in these rumors of the Rangers getting a franchise level player and be like, oh no, we can't throw the kitchen sink at these guys. Just fucking throw them the kitchen sink.
Yeah,
I'm
give them
I feel like
done.
so many Ranger fans would have a problem with that proposal, and it baffles me. Like,
I don't give a rat's ass what Ranger fans think. If I'm fucking Chris Drury, I don't give a rat's ass what these fans think. I'm driving all those guys to the fucking airport, and I'm doing it because you're getting a proven franchise guy, and it's about time that you do it. Because how many times are we gonna just pass up on franchise guys? Oh, sorry, we'll get Elias Pettersson when he's like 36 years old. No, get him right now while he's about to be in his fucking prime. For the love of God, just get it done. I'm tired of these opportunities. It goes all the way back to Steven Stamkos where they swung and missed there. Go and just get the guy. Go and get the guy.
Make your dreams come true. Just do it.
I'm tired of it. Because let's be realistic too. Lafreniere has, if he's part of that deal, he has no future here. He's no Elias Pettersson. Even Phil Petel. I like him. I think he could be a good player, but come on. You're easily moving Phil Petel if you're getting Elias Pettersson.
Yep.
I don't even think it's up for discussion.
Does he have a spot realistically for this team in the future? And the first round pick is a first round pick.
Yeah,
you do it in a heartbeat. As you said, throw in more if you need to.
This needs to actually be a legitimate discussion, and the Rangers have to actually go in on this deal because I'm so sick and tired of this bullshit where it's like maybe Matthew Tkachuk, maybe Jack Eichel, maybe Steven Stamkos. Just get the guy. Just get the fucking guy.
Is Pettersson on a 1 year or 2 year? 1 year.
He's on an expiring deal right now, expiring RFA deal.
Preying on the downfall all of a sudden.
Let it happen. Let him burn.
Yeah, and I'm not going to complain when we're getting a guy who's probably going to be a 40-goal scorer by the time he's in his prime, scored 39 goals, put up as many goals as Lafreniere did points this last year.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna put up 60 plus assists for 100 plus points. Not bad, right? Not bad. Not a bad player. That's not where I thought this wish list was going, but oh, holy fuck.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. Ugh.
Nico, you might be Miracle Man if this happens.
Did I just cook?
You
Chef
did
Ramsay
more
over
than-
here.
You did more than just cook, man.
It's
Nico-
time to cook for sure.
If this happens, I'm buying you an Elias Pettersson jersey, and I'm making the Miracle Man
Jersey.
video for you.
Oh, that'll be
I'm
needed.
making the Miracle Man video for you. I
would love it.
I would say a jersey, but it wouldn't happen unless it's from DHgate. Sorry, but I
Yeah.
selfishly need to buy an Elias Pettersson jersey if that happens.
Understandable.
But
Sure, would be more than good.
Yeah, I think that wouldn't be bad either for the guy that would be the best player on the team and the franchise player at that point. Because here I was thinking I was going to be like, yeah, okay, Brandon Montour. Let's go out and, get Steven Stamkos. Still good, and I wouldn't complain if they got Stamkos, but probably more unrealistic. You sign him to an exception. Plus, he's older.
Right.
Nico just...
Yeah, that took a big turn for the better.
That's why you can't ask questions like who do you want at the deadline? Because I just, you know what I mean.
Now
We want a lot, is what we
I
want.
just got so
I'll go as
excited,
far
man.
because I just know the Rangers all too well. Sadly, I'm too familiar with their game. I'll go as far as to say I will buy both of you a Pettersson jersey if it happens, and I'll give one away to someone in chat if it happens. Save the stream, bookmark it, everything. Just get it.
I'm up for that shit.
Just put it in pen. Put it in pen here.
Remember
Put
this
it.
moment.
Put it in Sharpie. I will do that if the Rangers get Elias Pettersson. So
I'm just
That'd be fucking
envisioning
awesome.
it.
what'd you
Oh
fucking do to me, Nico?
I'm
Nico,
really
what the
starting this
fuck did you just
dialogue
do?
as soon as we end the stream. I'm getting it started. I'm getting the conversation,
Start
the
the train.
dialogue all but started.
Fuck. The thought of that.
Mm.
The thought of that. That meme that says it's with Ben Simmons, it's gonna be scary. That's not
exactly
even a
what it is.
perfect one for it. Like it's gonna be more than scary, man.
Just the fact that you could extend him to a monster 7-8 year contract, man. How old is he? 24?
He'll be 25 in November.
Washed.
Man.
Never mind.
Washed up.
Washed.
He's
Washed.
about 10 years too
Needs
young
to
for
be
the Rangers.
22.
Yeah, he's just a bit too young. I don't. Shit, I don't know if it's gonna work out anymore. What the fuck?
So who else we got? Brandon Montour. I mean,
Dude, I don't even give a rat's ass about Brandon Montour anymore. If they get Brandon Montour and Elias Pettersson,
Bro.
we will be there. Like, I'm already waiting for the Stanley Cup parade. But
Imagine Elias Pettersson just gets extended at this moment. Hey, that's gonna hit like a razor scooter right to the shin bone if I see Vancouver and Elias Pettersson agree to an 8-year extension.
is that what someone said in chat?
No,
are
I
you
just
just
said
saying
that.
that?
Just,
Oh yeah, if he does get that extension, if he does sign one,
Then we're
A razor scooter to the
be
shin?
raining that day.
that's gonna hit like an electric razor scooter going right up against. I'm not gonna say where and get too graphic there, but just if you know, you know. So
It'll be raining that day for sure.
oh, God will most definitely be. He will be friggin'. It's gonna be raining so much, like it's gonna flood my basement again. Like that's how much it's gonna be raining. With how sad God's gonna be.
Oh man.
I just opened a dialogue with Jim Rutherford. Deal should be done in a day or two. W, let Matt cook.
Let him cook now. Jeez.
I just also did it together on an armchair GM because I'm psycho. And I could cry with how beautiful this looks. a masterpiece.
There's just quite not too many words.
And then if you fit Patrick Kane in there with Panarin and Pedersen.
Okay, just please stop, man.
Ah.
I'm getting very not gonna say, but yeah.
The stream might have to end here. Oh. All right. Well, yeah, there's a bit of a mess on my floor that I'm gonna have to clean up after this one, but we're gonna wrap up the stream here. Elias Pettersson,
Sign me up.
you are a New York Ranger.
New York Ranger.